In the autumn of 1985, the world wasn't watching a battlefield, but a boardroom. Inside New York's Plaza Hotel, finance ministers from 5 of the world's most powerful nations gathered for a meeting that would shake the global economy to its core. The target was singular and immense: the United States dollar. What followed was not a declaration of war, but an act of coordinated economic intervention so audacious it would be remembered as the Plaza Accord. This is the story of how America's closest allies and its fiercest economic rivals united to deliberately devalue the world's reserve currency. It all began with a crisis. The early 1980s saw the US dollar surge to unprecedented heights. A strong dollar might sound great, but it was a wrecking ball for American industry. US exports became prohibitively expensive, while foreign imports flooded the market. Factories across the American heartland fell silent, unemployment lines grew longer, and a wave of protectionist anger swept through Congress. The pressure was immense. Lawmakers were threatening to erect massive trade barriers, a move that could trigger a global trade war reminiscent of the 1930s. The Reagan administration, committed to free trade, found itself cornered. They needed a different weapon, a financial one. The stage was set for a confrontation, not with tanks and missiles, but with interest rates and currency swaps. From the perspective of America's allies, the situation was just as dire. For countries like the United Kingdom, France, and West Germany, the superdollar was a double-edged sword. While it made their exports to the US cheaper and more competitive, it also created massive economic distortions. The relentless strength of the dollar was importing inflation, destabilizing their own financial systems, and making crucial commodities priced in dollars like oil incredibly expensive. They watched with growing alarm as protectionist sentiment in Washington threatened to slam the door on their most important market. For them, joining the American plan wasn't just about helping an ally, it was about self-preservation. A coordinated takedown of the dollar seemed like the only way to avert a catastrophic trade war and restore some semblance of global economic balance. They were ready to pull the trigger alongside the Americans. Meanwhile, on the other side of the economic battlefield sat Japan. In the 1980s, Japan was an economic titan. Its cars, electronics, and technology were conquering the world. Made in Japan was a symbol of quality and efficiency. This export-driven miracle, however, had made it a primary target of American frustration. The US trade deficit with Japan was staggering, and many in Washington blamed Tokyo's policies for hollowing out American manufacturing. For the Japanese delegation at the Plaza, the pressure was immense. They faced a stark choice: either cooperate in devaluing the dollar, which would mean strengthening their own currency, the yen, and hurting their export machine, or face the wrath of American protectionism, which could be even more devastating. They walked into the Plaza Hotel, knowing they were being asked to sacrifice a key pillar of their economic success. It was a strategic gamble, a calculated concession to appease a powerful and increasingly angry trading partner. The decision they made would reshape their nation's destiny for decades. And so, on September 22, 1985, the 5 nations announced their accord. They declared that the dollar was overvalued and that they would intervene in currency markets to drive it down. The effect was immediate and dramatic. The moment the markets opened, traders began dumping dollars. It was a financial blitzkrieg. The 5 central banks sold massive amounts of US dollars, buying up other currencies like the Japanese yen and the German Deutschmark. The dollar began to plummet. Within 2 years, it had fallen by over 50% against the yen. It was a stunning success, a textbook example of coordinated policy. The intervention had worked exactly as planned. The world's most powerful currency had been brought to its knees by a gentleman's agreement in a New York hotel. The immediate threat of a trade war was averted, and a sense of calm returned to the global financial system. But the story doesn't end there. The aftermath of the Plaza Accord was complex and, for some, catastrophic. For the United States, the weaker dollar did help its export sector recover, and the trade deficit began to shrink. The immediate crisis was solved, but for Japan, the consequences were profound. The rapid appreciation of the yen, a phenomenon known as endaka, dealt a severe blow to its export-dependent economy. To counteract the shock, the Bank of Japan slashed interest rates, pumping massive amounts of cheap money into the system. This flood of easy credit inflated one of the biggest speculative bubbles in modern history. Japanese stocks and real estate prices soared to absurd, unsustainable levels. The Imperial Palace grounds in Tokyo were said to be worth more than all the real estate in California. When that bubble inevitably burst in the early 1990s, it plunged Japan into an economic stagnation that became known as the Lost Decade, a period from which some argue it has never fully recovered. The Plaza Accord, designed to solve one problem, had inadvertently created a new, far larger one for its key partner. Looking back, the Plaza Accord stands as a monument to both the power of international cooperation and the law of unintended consequences. It was a geopolitical thriller played out on currency charts, a high-stakes gamble where the line between ally and adversary blurred. 5 nations came together to manipulate the global financial system for what they saw as the greater good, to prevent a global trade war. They succeeded, but in doing so, they set off a chain reaction that crippled one of the world's most dynamic economies. It serves as a sober reminder that in the interconnected world of global finance, there are no simple solutions. Every action has a reaction, and the shockwaves of a single decision made in a hotel room can be felt for generations, shaping the destinies of nations and the lives of millions. The Plaza Accord wasn't just about money. It was about power, strategy, and the unpredictable nature of economic warfare. Thank you so much for watching. The intricate dance of global economics is full of these fascinating and high-stakes stories. If you found this deep dive into financial history compelling, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content that uncovers the hidden forces shaping our world. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on the Plaza Accord. Was it a necessary evil or a tragic mistake? I'd love to hear your perspective. See you in the next video.